Well, the World Health Organization is sparing no effort in dealing with the Zika virus and is, as we mentioned, calling for $56 million to fight next front in the Zika outbreak. Now, our special contributor James Chow has spoken exclusively with the head of the WHO at his headquarters in Geneva. Dr. Margaret Chan said the biggest victims will be the poor and warned pregnant women again to think twice before traveling to the affected areas.
You advise women who are pregnant, women who are trying to get pregnant, to avoid travel to areas where there are known local active transmissions. As your investigation continues, are you also discovering other groups at risk?
There is a possible association between ZIKA infection during pregnancy can lead to neurological abnormalities like Guillain-Barré syndrome or microcephaly in newborns. Now, that's why we advise women who have a choice to travel or not to travel to these areas. We advise both men and women, to take due precaution, to practice safe sex.
The outbreak is currently concentrated in Brazil, which in 6 short months from now will host the Summer Olympics. What do you say to the athletes and coaches who are calling for a boycott?
James, the anxiety is understandable, but we must recognize that the government is working very hard, pulling out all the stops. WHO is working with the International Olympic Committee, and Brazil is also working with them to look at what are the appropriate measures we could put in place to ensure that visitors and athletes have a safe and enjoyable Olympic Games in Rio de Janeiro.
The reality is that Zika is not going to affect people who live in luxury apartments who are protected by mosquito screens, but the poorest of the poor who live in slums where all kinds of vectors breed, mosquitoes, rats and so on. Apart from treatment, what must health leaders do?
The relationship between illness and poverty is very clear, and it has been demonstrated again and again. So as leaders of countries, they need to invest in people, making sure they have decent environment to live in, making sure that the leaders also invest in public health infrastructure, including good health system with surveillance capability to pick up early trouble, so that warnings can be sent and take the appropriate public health measures. Now, we have learned, as I said, people who are in, higher social ladders do not get infected in many of the diseases. So going forward, invest in people, invest in communities, invest in social services, including health and education, to empower people to, take care of themselves.